Hi everybody, welcome back. Tony again here with Shinsho Yoga, and for this week I have a mat review. This is Gaiam's Dry Grip Yoga Mat. Stay dry design. Elevate your practice. Unique top coat wicks away moisture. I'm going to say free online yoga classes. So, how did I come across this mat and what did it cost? So this mat was a bit of a score. I got this at TJ Maxx for $24.99. This mat retails between $60 to $80. Now, I have not been in the past a fan of Gaiam mats, right? My first yoga mat was a Gaiam mat, and I bought it at Sports Authority 10 years ago. And it was their basic, $30 mat. I was just starting out in yoga, and it was one of the worst things I ever had. It never had any grip on it. The cushioning was no more than like what you would have for the little plastic bubbles that you have in wrapping cushioning, right? For packages, right? It was terrible, and I didn't use it for very long before I started looking for other mats. And in one of my first mat review I did here on YouTube, when I had shout out of 5 of them, of 5 different mats, shoot off. That was, of course, the bottom one, next to the 5 Below mat that I had bought, which they were exact same mat, and the 5 Below mat was $5. So, one was 30, one was 5. Go figure. So I had never looked into anything further in Gaiam, but over the years, Gaiam has upped their game. Gaiam, the yoga industry is a big industry, and in the West it makes a lot of money, so they started producing more mats. And this one, so far, appears to be pretty good. Now, I am currently using a Lululemon 5mm. I've had 2 of them. Excellent mat. The only trouble is it loses its grip after a period of time. Starts out super tacky, and then after a period of time, that's it. It goes away. But the cushioning's really good, and it's a very durable mat. That's been my new favorite. Before that, I was using this Jade Elite S. This one, the Lululemon, I definitely preferred over. This was very expensive. It wore out on the surface very quickly, lost its tackiness, and didn't have a whole lot of cushioning. So my Lululemon is wearing out, right? This is my second one. They last about a year for me, and then they get slippery. And I was in TJ Maxx just looking to buy some bed sheets. And I went by, they have all kinds of oddball stuff there, and went by a bin of yoga mats. So I just figured I'd look and see what's in there. And this was in here. And I said, Gaiam. I said, I don't like those. They're no good. And I picked it up, and I'm like, yo, this is super tacky. And I'm like, it's got really good cushioning. I'm like, $24.99. Now, I didn't initially buy it. I said, I don't get another Lululemon. And I went home and I thought about it, and I looked up the mat, and I saw the cost of the mat, and I saw the reviews that some people had given, and I said, for $24.99, I'm going to go back and get it. Wasn't necessarily looking for purple, but for $25, I don't really care. So here I am today with this mat. We're going to take it out. We're going to give an initial review. I'm going to use it for probably 6 months or a year, and then I'll give you a follow-up and see where it is. But let's just open it up. So before getting into that, though, 5mm mat, right? So this is 5mm, the same as my Lululemon. Most mats you find are 5mm. This Jade Elite S is a 4mm mat. I prefer 5, but it also really depends on the material that it's made from. Like the Lululemon mats, their material that they make them from is quite durable. It has a unique combination of give and stiffness. Where these here on these Jade mats, it's not a lot of anything but just stiff, like the cushioning is not really that great on them. Where with the Lululemon mat, I found the cushioning to be good, but also a certain level of firmness. So let's take a look here. Backside here would probably be good on a hardwood floor. There's some texture to it. I'd have to see how that is, you know. That texture's a little bit better on this, but I should be okay. Oh, look, it's got a design on it. Has it got a mandala? I didn't even know it had a design. Look at that. Let's talk about length. Here's my... It is... I'm going to do it here. I know you can't see that on the camera necessarily, because that's in front of it. It is almost the exact same length as my mat here. It's a couple inches shorter. I did buy, though, when I got this one, if I remember properly, a bit of an extended mat. So this one, because I'm tall, 6'2". So we're looking at approximately 2.5 inches shorter, which for me isn't good, but again, $25. Let's check tackiness. It's good. Tackiness, good. Really good. I mean, really good. Good tackiness. I don't know how long this tackiness will last on this mat, but I can tell you initial tackiness, top notch. Cushioning, good. Maybe not as good as my Lululemon, right? I would say, because that one, this is a bit stiff, but enough to offer pressure. But I think that'll help in wear on this one. Just because it gives, but then it kind of stops. It gives a little bit of give in the surface, and then it stops. Might be good with standing postures, right? Again, lengthwise, a little bit shorter. Widthwise, 5 millimeters. Right? Tackiness, top notch. So, and this design is nice too. I like that, believe it or not. So this is really just initial reaction. I got to use it. I would say for $25, score. Show you the backside. This has got me just a little bit concerned here. Just because it's a little slippery, you know, you're not going to be on this side. But the concern is on a hardwood floor you have in a studio. Most studios are going to have a hardwood floor. Sometimes those floors can be slick. Okay? And if you have a floor that's slick, sometimes your mat can skid around on the floor, right? So you get done with your practice, especially if it's a vigorous practice, and you notice your mat is ski jaw, right? If you're the only one in the studio, it's not a big deal. But if you're in a crowded studio with a lot of people and you've got your props around you, that can become an issue. And I'm kind of OCD. I like it to stay straight. But I think it'll be enough that you don't have to worry about that. That surface may wear over time. Let me put it on the carpet here and push. It's got a little bit of give. I don't think it's going to be an over issue, though. So, initial review. Tackiness, so far, top notch. Got to see how long that lasts, though. Sometimes, like the Lululemons, it starts out super tacky, and the Lululemons start out super tacky. And then if you regularly use it, I use my mat every week, I teach, it wears off. So, see how long that lasts. Cushioning, 5 millimeter, good. Stiff, but gives enough to give a firm foundation. If you got wonky knees like me, it may not be enough. I'm not sure. I'll have to try. I usually wear compression knee pads when I practice to make sure of that, or you could always put a blanket underneath. This, I always had to have a blanket. This just does not have enough. This is better than this, that is for sure, right? But is it as good as the Lululemon? We'll see. Length, this one is a bit shorter. I had ordered this Elite S is the longer mat, so there's about 2 inches more, so this is more of a standard length of mat, which is probably going to be a little short for me, which at times is going to be a bit frustrating because I'm going to hang off a bit. But $24.99 at TJ Maxx. So to me, it's worth it to give it a shot. So again, name of this one, Gaiam Dry Grip Yoga Mat, right? 5 millimeter. So I'm going to start using this in the next couple weeks. My Lululemon still has some life left in it, but I'm going to start using this and give me about 6 months or so, and I'll come back with a second round and let you know how it worked out. But I would say if you find it at TJ Maxx for $25, initially I would say, yeah, get it. So, we'll see what happens. Gaiam Dry Grip Yoga Mat, purple, nice design. That's it for this week, folks. Thanks again for watching. Namaste.